Hi, I'm Lara Stolte, and this is my Disposition Self-Assessment Survey and my video for that. I did go over it quite thoroughly, and perhaps I'm being overly concerned, but I want to start with the ones that I had difficulty with. The first one was that we need to embrace cultural diversity of the community. And the only reason I have a problem with that is I have no idea what the culture is. And I know as a Christian, as an American, and with my own particular family values and my own self, that there are some cultural norms that I would greatly disagree with and I could never embrace. And I'm sure that's not what's being spoken about here, but I don't know. And I would always respect someone's culture. I would definitely be aware of differences, and it's not my place to judge as a teacher. It doesn't really come into play for the most part, but there are things I would not embrace. The other one is to promote social justice. Now, if that means fairness for everyone under the law and the law applies to everyone, then I absolutely agree. But I don't know how I promote that as a teacher, except that rules are fair in the classroom. If I'm expected to go canvassing, then I would have to say I completely disagree. And that is probably taking my job duties and my devotion a bit too far. The last one is that I would provide emotional and spiritual support. Now, I understand emotional support if a child's parent died or they're hungry or there's a divorce going on, and I've had those things happen, and I meet their physical needs and I give them a hug, and I'm just there when they need it, but I'm not a counselor and I'm not a social worker. And as for spiritual support, I have no idea what that even means. I have never worked in a private school. I have never had the ability to pray for students openly. I do so privately. I've never, I don't even know if it would be appropriate if the child was Christian for me to say things. It's really not my place as a teacher. I'm not their parent, and I would never do so without their permission. So I don't know what spiritual support would mean other than me privately maybe praying for them, and if an appropriate opportunity came up, maybe, let the Spirit lead me as He will. Otherwise, everything else, I did agree with those things, but I put undecided for them for those very reasons. I did put agree for support from the community and whatnot. I just know that it can be carried too far. The school is not a substitute for the family. I know it's a hub of activity, and that's awesome. And I've been to many evenings and even on Saturdays to school events, and I think it's awesome. But I do know as a parent myself, and having spoken to many parents, sometimes these expectations of their involvement are carried too far, and it's just a burden to them. I also agree for educators should be committed to teaching and learning. I'm definitely committed to my profession, and the only reason I didn't strongly agree is that the only profession I'm committed to more is being a mother, and some people would have a problem with that. The ones I completely agreed with were all students can learn and should have support and expectations that are realistic, that I should exercise sound judgment and ethics, that I recognize that reflection and experience will grow me as a professional, and I'm naturally self-reflective, so I do that a lot. Um, that I promote and support curiosity, encourage them looking into things, active inquiry, which as a homeschooling mom was the best way for my children to learn. And it's unfortunate that schools are an artificial environment and it's hard for children to go into that as deep as they probably should. And finally, that I model integrity by my words and actions. I do my best, but I am a sinner and I fail. In fact, today I got a phone call about one of my failures where I thought I was being successful. So it just goes to show you self-reflection is a valuable thing, and we can all learn and grow, like I have done in this course. So overall, the only reason I didn't strongly agree with everything is because of some questions and concerns I had, and these things that happened to me, which is why I bring them up. My primary vocation in life, now that I'm single, is to be a mom. And after that, I'm a teacher. But when I am a teacher, I'm devoted to those kids and families. They have no idea how much I care about them. And therefore, I think I know I have the skills and I know I have the heart, and teaching is where I belong. Thank you. Bye.